some reason or another, you sound a little taller on radio.
Is it live? Is it live?
From Ruffino's on Highland Road. Welcome to the Friday edition of Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Sandegriff, Jimmy Ott, Max Gotro, Jordan Kitchens back in the studio. Glad to have you with us on a beautiful day here in Baton Rouge. The weekend before Mardi Gras, big weekend for college basketball as the regular season is winding down. LSU baseball in action in Frisco, Texas, playing 3 different teams in 3 days. NFL Combine going on in Indianapolis. Jimmy, good morning.
Good morning, Charlie.
How are
Man,
you?
what about this weather? Is awesome.
Fabulous.
Come on, man.
On the last day of February.
It's just beautiful, man. It's beautiful. The Mardi Gras crew got some good weather, man.
Isn't it nice when Mardi Gras is like this instead of slushy?
Oof.
You know,
No, it's always a roll of the dice.
It is, because you never know. The dates change, and you can end up with a lot of slush. I've been a few parades in the slush in my life. Would rather do it this way. Coming down the stretch in college basketball, a lot of interesting matchups this weekend. That, of course, we're going to get to all of them, but maybe none more interesting than that Alabama-Tennessee game, probably the marquee game of the weekend. Texas A&M Florida is also interesting.
Auburn at Rupp.
Auburn at Rupp, yeah,
is that's pretty damn good too. So.
For Auburn, they're the number one seed.
Yeah. So not a ton. I got you,
but it's still it's a really compelling matchup. I mean, they might score. What would you say Auburn's team total is, just off the top of your head, for that game?
Oh yeah, because Kentucky
doesn't play defense very often.
No, and they like to get it up and down. I'd say, what was it? Was it like, I remember the Alabama one was like 80, 89 and a half, and they fell to 89 or something.
I was going to say somewhere in the mid 80s.
I'm going to say,
Alabama's
not as quite as offensively oriented. Their metrics are better, but it's not as much of a tempo thing for them. I'd say 86.
Yeah, that's about where I am.
86 and a half.
Where I am too. They're going to get it up and down. That's going to be a really fun game to watch. Alabama and Tennessee is
that's great.
That's a fantastic.
What time
game.
are these games tomorrow?
Auburn and Kentucky start at noon, and Alabama and Tennessee are at 3.
Okay.
And then Texas A&M and Florida is the late game, 7:30.
What time are they fooling around at Spanish Town thing? I got to get around that traffic to get to the Queen.
First games don't start till 12 in the SEC tomorrow.
No, wait. I mean, with the Spanish.
The
games tip at 11, Charlie. I got to be there at 11.
Okay. The other games tip at 11. The SEC doesn't tip till 12 tomorrow.
Okay.
And probably the game that's got the most on the line is Georgia, Texas. The winner of that game, it's got a real shot to get in the tournament. The losers,
they play in Athens, right?
They play in they play in Austin. They're playing in Austin. They're both 5-10 in the league.
Those two coaches too. They need.
That's one. The winners got a shot to get in the tournament. The loser, it's going to be tough. You probably have to win both of your last 2 games, and maybe one in the SEC tournament.
Yeah, I hadn't checked Jerry Palm and
they're both 5-10 in the league.
Right, are you gonna?
And they've got roughly the same record.
Are you gonna be
overall.
that 6-12? Are you gonna get? I mean, that's gonna be.
We were talking about that after the show yesterday. Of a 6-12, and I think we talked about it on the show too. A 6-12 team, and how is that a good thing? I mean, should you be in the NCAA tournament if you're 6-12?
It's going to come with a lot of criticism. I mean, a lot. It's going to come with some criticism,
right?
I mean, 6-12 that's historic.
And
I mean, you come with a losing record, but 6 games under.
And on a neutral floor, I'm not saying they're not a 6-12 team in the SEC is one of the best 68 teams in the country. Okay, but do you really deserve it if you win 6-12 in your league?
Here we go, Charlie. I mean,
What are they the last two in?
No.
Two.
Texas is the last team in. Georgia's the first team out.
Mm-hmm.
So Georgia, and they did that. They did a good job on ESPN without revealing all of Lenardi's bracketology, but he bumped them from next four out to first four out, and now with the win over Florida on Tuesday night. So there you go. They're playing the last team in and the first team out. They're that's fun.
If
what
those,
time is that?
That's the 5 o'clock game.
Okay.
I'm sorry, 7 o'clock game. 7 o'clock game.
Okay.
Who's
the 5?
The 5 o'clock is Mizzou at Vandy.
You got some other games sprinkling in. Those are all staggered.
Oklahoma Ole
games.
Miss is at 1. LSU or Mississippi State's at 2:30. Arkansas, South Carolina is also at noon, along with Auburn and Kentucky.
They can't afford to lose LSU.
I
guess they can.
I think they're in, but even with a loss to LSU, but no, that I don't think LSU is going to go to the.
All right, here's your bubble watch. According to Lenardi, this is updated. So Texas is the last team in. Then Ohio State, Indiana, Oklahoma. We talked about Oklahoma. We talked about home loss to LSU. But they're in the last 4 in right now. Arkansas has gotten to a last 4 bye status.
Okay.
Well, I mean they are 8 straight ATS against the spread, Charlie. By the way, if you had the 8.5 instead of 7.5 against A&M at College Station, first 4 out. So they're on the wrong side of the bubble. First team there is Georgia, then North Carolina. I mean, North Carolina or McNeese State if they lose their North Carolina if UCSD, UCal San Diego or Cal Irvine if they don't get in, or that's going to be interesting. Boise State, Xavier, then Wake Forest, SMU, Cincinnati, and Villanova. I've been talking about Cincinnati. I've said they have an NET in the low 40s. They're playing better. They had that tough loss at West Virginia, crazy cover at the end, but he's finally got them on their bubble, but they're playing better. Villanova's playing better. They're the other bubble team. So there's your bubble teams as far as Lenardi is concerned. You mentioned Mississippi State, so yeah, they're probably in, Charlie. You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right, Charlie. You're right. I'm going to give you a lot of your rights today on your way to go put on your throne. You put on a throne this weekend?
No, man.
No?
I'm
Who's
just
the king this year?
I don't know. We don't find out till Monday.
Oh, really?
No, it's just a secret.
Wait. We knew when you were king.
They announced it the year I was because I don't know why they just did
to accommodate all your guest lists.
Yeah, probably. But generally, the king is not revealed until the day of the day before Mardi Gras.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
It's a big surprise when
the
king walks out.
You feel like it's just kind of like when you're having a baby. You want to know. If it's a boy or a girl, or you want to have the baby and figure it out.
So you know how to paint the baby's bedroom.
No, but I mean, some people don't. Some people do. Some people don't. Some people are self-consumed and love the gender reveal parties, and you have all kinds of parties. Just another reason to throw a party and pop the blue balloon or the pink balloon and
the confetti.
It's a lot of pomp and circumstance. Yes.
So we find out on Monday.
EJ's gender reveal party was quite. It was a big deal.
Was it?
It was.
You and his mother and
it didn't exist.
I was about to say.
Yes. Come on.
I was going to say it was you and his mother in a doctor's office
with
somewhere.
Dr. Pern.
Yeah.
hey, you see that? Oh, yeah, that's a boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's the way that goes. Yes.
Well, looking forward to Mardi Gras.
Mardi, I love it. I love that Mardi.
Yeah.
Mardi.
I'm from South.
Hey, no, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I embrace it, Charlie. It's a great thing we have about this state, and all the different cultures and different dialects and different accents and things like that. Duh. But the other anyway thing, I saw a float. Of course, Mincy posted it. Mincy was on a float.
I'm perfectly willing to believe that he's in New Orleans for Mardi Gras.
So I mean, Mincy. On the Mardi Gras float, you are king. I mean, I I rode on the back of your King's float, and I rode on the back of my mom's Queen float when she was Queen of Cleopatra. I was a slave in a skirt, and it was not. It was not.
Please tell me there's a picture of that somewhere.
I don't know if there is, to be honest. My senior year in high school.
Max, can you do some research, see if there's a picture of Jimmy in a skirt somewhere? We need
Me and my buddy Billy Bravender were the two slaves on the back of the Cleopatra's float in skirts, and it was freezing.
We need some art on that.
Well, Wency had some art.
Yeah.
Is that like a time of arrival? Huh? I mean, you made it, huh? If you're on a Hall the Mayo had his own float. This is like Mincy was just part of like some social media. Max, would you put are you set up? I mean,
Mayo's a celebrity down there. I mean, he's
Oh no, Mayo. I've been with Mayo in New Orleans. 100%.
Right.
He is a celebrity. I'm pissed that he's going to be at Bacchus instead of doing spread quarters because I want to get his thoughts on this whole.
When he walks into a place to do his red beans review, it's like the guy from Bar Rescue walking in, but everybody goes, here he comes.
I love when we're sitting at Johnny Sanchez's and we're having margaritas on Cinco de Mayo. I was down there for a party, and so we hooked up. So I said, come on, man, let's go get some margaritas at Johnny Sanchez. And the ladies, Mayo got up to go to the restroom, and they go, "Ooh, that's Red Bean Man."
That's what they call him, Red Bean Man. I believe it.
No, he's naturally New Orleans. So Max, what Mincy's float? What did it consist of? It was a bunch of TikTok. I think they had a HTM. Hold the Mayo thing too.
It's just a caricature of Mincy, like a little portrait.
How accurate
is Chaos.
Is it flattering?
You decide for yourself.
No, it's not. I saw it. It's not.
No,
That's a loaded question. I'm sorry.
Definitely not.
But he was excited.
Yeah. I would be too.
I would be too. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, indeed. So that's good stuff.
LSU women's basketball falls in overtime on the road at Alabama last night.
Is Alabama good?
Yeah, they're
they're good. Okay.
Top 20, I believe. 20th, exactly. Yeah. Probably sews up a 2 seed for LSU. They if they had won out and gotten deep into the SEC tournament, they had an outside shot at a 1. Probably sews up a 2 seed for them. I don't think they can fall to a 3.
Their last conference game this weekend.
Ole Miss on Sunday.
Ole Miss is good.
Yeah, to wrap things up. LSU baseball 2:00 start today from Frisco, Texas.
Okay.
Kansas State is the first game in that 3-game set. Nebraska and Sam Houston the other 2. What's for lunch?
Oh, well, we have our appetizer features today and throughout the weekend here at Ruffino's is the calamari, the flash fry calamari, saffron and citrus aioli, pickled sweet peppers, the shrimp skewers, tikka masala shrimp skewer with the aromatic rice and I need my light, Charlie.
Oh,
pass me that.
Sorry.
That's okay, buddy. It's with this. You're right, Charlie. I'm going to give you a bunch of your rights. I'm going to have you feeling good. I'm going to have you.
This is great, man.
I'm going to have
Somebody's in a good mood.
I'm going to have you glowing at the crew of sucrose because I owe you. Because I still my favorite the Mardi Gras ball experience ever. Fried green tomatoes with the sautéed mushrooms and a crawfish cream sauce. So 3 different appetizer features today and throughout the weekend. Then our entree features the rainbow trout, oven roasted rainbow trout with seafood stuffing, the warm quinoa salad with the raspberry gel. Suggested wine pairing is a Bayou Chardonnay out of Napa, and then lamb chops with the parsnip puree, apricot gastrique, and the sautéed zucchini. Suggested wine pairing is an Archery Summit Pinot Noir out of Willamette Valley. So we are set for the Mardi Gras weekend here at Ruffino's.
Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
The Thibodaux store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodaux. Your home improvement projects as we ease into the spring. You can save yourself a lot of time and money by asking the experts at the Thibodaux store to walk you through some of these projects that you can do yourself and save from hiring a contractor. A lot better than a YouTube video when you can ask questions, have them pick out the supplies for you, give you the procedure so you're not wasting time and money. Hand tools, power tools, electrical and plumbing supplies, lumber that can be delivered from their sister property at the Pierre Part store. And don't forget to check out the website at ThibodauxStore.com. Lots of Cajun cookware there that can be delivered to you. A lot of the items on the website are available for free delivery. Pressure washers are on special right now as we get into the spring. Also, Shop Vacs on special right now. A lot of great deals on the website. Also, lots of fishing gear, jambalaya pots, crawfish pots, and a ton of variety of grills and big green egg cookers. Check them out. 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodaux, and online it's ThibodauxStore.com.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, big cheesy Lou, and those Louis' original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes. We'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
Hey, do you love beef? I mean premium Angus beef. Sagrera Farm sells the whole sides and quarters straight from the farm, ready to fill your freezer with tender, flavorful ribeyes, fillets, strips, brisket, ground beef, and a lot more. I want to introduce you to Louisiana's own Sean Sagrera of Sagrera Farms, a hidden gem just 30 minutes north of Baton Rouge. What's Sean's secret? Mating genetically superior Angus cattle and then ensuring that every day in the life of his cattle is a great one. Happy, healthy cattle, finished on grain, dry aged 45 days, creates consistent and predictable, flavorful beef. When you take a bite of Sagrera Farms beef, you'll know that this is not some mass-produced afterthought. So if you want the best, and I mean the best in Angus beef, go online to sagrerafarms.com, or better yet, call Sean right now at 225-719-1723. Sagrera Farms.
Darren James and Associates, powered by LPT Realty, commit to excellent service unlike any other. Darren and his team save buyers as much money as possible. If you're ready to buy or sell your home, call Darren James or visit agent225.com. Take a swing around the parish to one of Breck's 5 golf courses, 2 championship courses, Santa Maria and Beaver Creek, and 3 courses for the more casual golfers. The popular 18-hole Webb Park and 2 9-hole courses sit.
Chris is on. I repeat, Chris is on.
Every level of golfer, from beginner to pro. So come and get into the swing of things. Book your tee time online or find a course near you at golf.breck.org. That's golf.breck.org.
Get Moss Max and less tax during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, 4 cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323. 121-1674. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Odd and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 1045 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All right, let's go out to the West Coast. My buddy, I think he's out in Vegas this weekend. Is that right? Chris Massaro, professional sports gambler, with us each and every Friday at this time. Chris, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, guys. Actually, no, I'm still in San Diego. I make the voyage out to Vegas next Thursday for about 10 days. I'm going to be there for championship week, and I'll be there for the revealing of the bracket, and hopefully we start putting together some nice, maybe some hedges on some of my future stuff. We'll see what happens. Depends on how the bracket breaks. You know, sometimes you get disappointed. I was looking at Lenati's. I heard you guys talking about Lenati's thing last night, and it's amazing that, you know, they still have Purdue. He still has Purdue in his top 16. I'm not sure how that's possible, but we get frustrated every year, and that's just how it goes. There's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah. I mean, look, my eye test tells me Purdue is, you know, a good team. Braden Smith I think is really fantastic. Got a little Steve Nash to him. I mean, poor man, Steve Nash can really, really smart. And, you know, as the 3rd-year starter, I mean, he should be, you know, pretty high basketball IQ, but I don't see a whole lot of just dogs on that roster. And I mean, I think it's just maybe kind of caught up. And the other thing with the Big Ten, boy, it's either you can run through a stretch like Maryland. Maryland was not quite as battle tested with their path to that matchup this past weekend as Michigan State was, and so it could be the schedule related some of your success as well.
Yeah, I'm just looking at how bad Purdue's defense has been over the last couple of weeks here. I mean, they're one of the worst teams in the country in interior defense, 338th and bottom of the barrel in the Big Ten. And just when you go to the tournament, for as much as we love the offensive players and three-point shots and the exciting offensive style, the defense is what you got to hang your hat on. And that's why a team like Michigan State, who doesn't shoot the three very well, and same as St. John's, who doesn't shoot the three very well, are poised to get some high seeds in the tournament because they're playing great defense, and they have, like you said, dogs that are willing to work, offensive rebound, and that's the style. It might not win you the whole tournament, but it gives you the best chance to make a deep Final Four run because when the threes aren't going in, you can always hang your hat on defense.
Well, you congratulations, because our head up pick last week on Friday night, you got the best of me on Michigan State, and Michigan State shot a lot better from 3-point range than they usually do. Wolf had the best assist to turnover ratio that he's had all year, 8-2. One constant is Michigan State brings that damn defense every game. And that seemed to be the difference in that game down the stretch. But also, congratulations are in order for Charlotte. Take some guts. What do we say? Fear. I mean, fear creates value. Mm-hmm. If you lose by 38 at home, I'm sorry, I was on the road. It was at Fog Allen. I'm sorry. Oklahoma State lost by 38. Take some onions to fire back with, not just with a pick, but a money line pick as a 10-point dog. Congratulations on Okie State. Kind of comfortable money line win this week.
Yeah, that one was a gate to wire. I didn't think it would play out as easy as it did, but I used Okie State on Saturday in the VEASAN contest, which was a disastrous pick as Kansas just couldn't miss. I mean, they were shooting like 80% from the field. But then when I looked at it the other night, looking at Okie State, they got back home. They were embarrassed, and they do have a tendency to get blown out, but they've also bounced back and played decent a bunch of times. And just going through what Iowa State's been going through with these injuries, whether this guy's going to play, whether that guy's going to play, just a sandwich spot for them with the big revenge game coming up on Saturday versus Arizona. The game where Caleb Love hit the three-quarter shot to tie the game, and then they beat him in overtime and kind of sent Iowa State into a little bit of a spiral. Iowa State they're a good team when healthy, but when they're not fully healthy, they can be had. So I just thought it was a good spot, grabbing 10 points, a little bit on the money line, and it came through. I was happy with it.
Here's another one, the fear factor. Oklahoma lost a heartbreaker to Kentucky this week. Now, Lenardi still got them in. They've only got 4 conference wins, but they're basically skating on those 3 big non-conference wins they got from back in November when they beat Arizona, they beat Michigan, and they beat Louisville. It's just 3 quad 1 wins. But, guys, I don't think that they're favored in any of their last 3 games. They're at Ole Miss, against Missouri at home, and at Texas. They can only ride those non-conference wins so far. They needed that thing against Kentucky the other night. They didn't get it. They got to get one of these.
Chris, we know the conference realignment or expansion. I mean, okay, well, you're going to have more teams from this conference make it. But the thing is, there's never been a 6-12 conference record getting that large bid. There are going to be a couple of 7-11s of the 8-team regular game schedule in the SEC. But 6-12, you tell us outside of SEC country, it's going to get a little criticism, huh?
Well, I have a couple of things I'd like to point out. A lot of guys like to say that the end of the season and the beginning of the season is the same, and I guess it is. But I feel like if you're playing well at the end of the season, that should have more weight than what you were doing in December. And these wins that Oklahoma got at the beginning of the year, yeah, they were 13-0. Yeah, they showed up at Alabama, ranked top 10 in the country, and they lost by 50 points. Or 40-something points. So maybe they weren't as good as those early games. Maybe Louisville got their act together since December. I weighed it more towards the end of the season, but a lot of people don't. And then you hear, well, this team only has 1 quad 50 win, or or one quad one win, which is the top 50 in the net. Well, when 15 of the 50 teams are in the SEC based on the net rating, how are you going to get quad one wins? I understand like teams that are 0-10 in quad one or 1-10 like North Carolina. I'm not a proponent of putting them in. But another team like SMU, they don't have any quad one wins. It's kind of, they haven't had many opportunities, but the opportunities they have had, they've lost. They're a big question mark. I'm not sure if they're going to get in. I don't know. The SEC obviously is a great conference. We've seen it throughout the year. It's got the best players. It's got all the marquee coaches now. All the ACC guys have kind of either retired or moved on. So, I mean, I'm not taking anything away from the SEC. But again, yeah, you're right. A team like Oklahoma that only has 4 wins in the conference and all their good wins are from before the turn of the new year, I'm not sure how much you can wait on that. I'm more proponent of if you're playing well in February, that's the games that matter to me.
I don't think they're very good, to be honest with you. You know, minus LSU and South Carolina, I think they're the weakest team in the SEC.
And they lost to LSU at home.
Now I will say, they lost to LSU at home. 2 is they played about as good as they can play this week and lost. That's a tough loss for them. But the one that keeps them afloat was the 4-point play against Michigan on a neutral court. And Michigan that's a real good win for them when they were down 3 and hit the 3 and won and stole the game from Michigan. What was it when Grandmama hit that for the Knicks? Was that against the Pacers or was it against the Spurs?
Gosh, I'm
trying Chris, you remember that?
I think it was
Larry
against,
Johnson.
I think it was against the
I
Pacers.
don't know. Larry Johnson.
down
Most of my Larry Johnson memories are from UNLV.
Down 3, hits the 4-point play.
I think it was against the Pacers.
I think it was against the Pacers. So, anyway. All right, you like this game tonight, Iowa and Northwestern. I don't want to go against you again. I've already made a play on this. It's the only play I got tonight. I picked it on the podcast as well. See who you got.
All right, so I got a text 2 days before asking what I thought the line was going to be in this game, and I figured it'd be Northwestern 2.5, 3 max. And then when it came out at 4.5, I was shocked, and I did a little digging, and I see Northwestern, they're coming off 2 good wins, back-to-back wins against Ohio State and Minnesota. But if you look into it, the Ohio State game was just weird. Ohio State, a good 3-point shooting team, only shot 4 for 21. Northwestern 16 turnovers. They got up big. Ohio State never made a comeback. Northwestern, again, against Minnesota, shot 50% from the field, 48% from 3, forced 13 more turnovers. So 2 good wins. Now they get the travel angle, which we've talked about all year. They're playing 2 games on the road. Now they're coming home, and now I think they're an inflated favorite. So I'm going to play Iowa. I know it's ugly, and I know Fran McCaffrey's probably going to retire after the year, but I think this is a game where Iowa can handle lower competition. They had a road win against Rutgers. All their other road games in the Big Ten are losers, but they're against much stiffer competition. And if you look what happened to Iowa this past weekend against Illinois, Illinois had their big guy, Vucevic. He had a big game, 22 points, 7 from 8 from inside the paint. So Iowa has a horrible 2-point defense rating. They're worse than the Big Ten. The problem is Northwestern doesn't score inside. So it's kind of a contrasting style. And I think if Nick Martinelli, the all-world player for Northwestern, doesn't have another big game, he had 29 versus Minnesota, 18 versus Ohio State, he's going to really have to come up with something big here because Iowa can score the basketball and Northwestern has trouble scoring. So I think this is too many points. I'm going to I actually played it last night. I played a strong plus 5, minus 120. I think Iowa is going to hang in there. Maybe they just totally mail in the season, but I don't think so. Inferior competition, Iowa sometimes comes out to play like they did against Rutgers. I'm going to play Iowa plus the 5. I see it's kind of come down to 4. I'd still take it at 4 as I made it a 2.5-point game.
Oh, here we go again. Martinelli, 23 points a game the last 6. They played 10 straight single-digit games. And, they had multiple injuries, critical injuries for this team. And I think Collins has done a great job of holding this thing together. Now they've reached a high point the last couple of games and winning double-digit wins on the road against Ohio State and Minnesota. I'm not a fan of Iowa, to be honest. So kind of like in Northwestern. Here we go again, Chris. So maybe it's payback. You're going to sweep me. So we'll see. All right. Houston hosts.
Mano to mano.
Mano a mano, baby. Let's go. Houston, Cincinnati. Cincinnati has played their way on to Lenardi's bubble status there. Houston at home against Cincinnati.
Okay, this is a hot sandwich spot. Houston just had big battles versus Iowa State at Texas Tech, and luckily in both those games, those opposing teams had their best players out. Now they got Cincinnati, and who's on deck? Kansas and Baylor, the old Big 12 stalwarts. So it's just a horrible spot for Houston. They're laying all these points, and if you look at Cincinnati, they're only 4-7 on the road, but they've only been blown out. One game was at BYU. They got scorched. Every other game, in the last 4 games, they had a 3-point loss at Utah, 10-point win at UCF, 11-point loss at Iowa State, 3-point loss at West Virginia in that crazy game. I think Cincinnati keeps this game close. It's going to be a slow tempo game as Cincinnati 294th in pace, Houston 361, which almost last of the whole country. So it's a game where I'm going to lean Cincinnati, and I'm probably going to play the total. Ken Palm has it at 126. It's a super low total, but top 25 in defensive efficiency for Cincinnati. Houston's in the top 5 in defense. And I think Cincinnati hangs around in this game because it's just not a good spot for the Houston Cougars off those 2 big wins, and Kansas and Baylor on deck. So I'm going to play Cincinnati and the under in this game.
What number are you projecting? I haven't seen one out yet.
I've seen some 14.5.
Okay, you have seen. Okay,
I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean,
Okay.
it's gonna be a lot of points. I'm not saying if it's 13.5, you don't play. I would still play it. I really like the spot for Cincinnati. They've kind of turned things around.
Right. No.
They've had a couple of tough losses, but a couple of gritty games where they just stuck in there. And like I said, you can hang your hat on defense. And
No,
that's
I'm with you.
calling card is.
Let's move along quickly here. Up against the clock, and in a big one at Rupp. Auburn goes to Rupp. 33-2 or 31-2 for Kentucky. The last 30 all the 33 games since Rupp opened in like 1976-77. Do see a line on that one. Auburn is a road favorite here of 5.5.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards the over. I don't know what they're going to put out there. Ken Palm had it at 167. I don't know how you
168.5.
can't make this total a little bit higher. Kentucky number 2 in tempo. In the conference, 36 in the country. Auburn likes to play a little bit tempo when the opposing team's playing tempo. Kentucky does not defend deep into the possession at all. Second shortest in the SEC. And I think with Butler back to Kentucky, Auburn off a couple barn burner games where they're scoring. They got 100 the last game. I don't see how this total could be 160. I bet you this total will open a little bit higher. I just can't see this game being an under game. I'm going to play the over in that game, and I'll give you one spot play that's the reverse. Maryland just had a tough loss to Michigan State, and they're going to Penn State. So usually this would be, hey, I'm going to take Penn State plus the 6 or whatever it is, early game tomorrow. Penn State 274th, defending the 3. Maryland has had their worst 3-point shooting game of the season, 4 for 20 for 20% against Michigan State. They're 37th and 37% for the season, 4th in the Big Ten. I think Maryland rebounds in a big way and smokes Penn State.
All right. Great stuff, Chris. As always, we appreciate it. Good luck to you this weekend, buddy. We'll talk to you next week.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
All right. Don't forget our friends at Legacy Title. Chad Reynolds, the Legacy Title for all of your real estate closings. 296-0060. Full service title company servicing all of South Louisiana. Fast, friendly, professional service is what you get when you call 296-0060. Ashley Donald, Mariana Haynes, Adrian Galato, Michael Platt, our great team at Legacy Title wants to wish you happy Mardi Gras. Safe Mardi Gras for you, whether you're traveling or staying in town. Again, for all of you real estate closings, 296-0060. Chad Reynolds and Legacy Title.
Live at Ruffino's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Need more space? Workbox LLC has the storage solutions you can count on. Whether you're a homeowner, commercial contractor, or industrial business, we have the space for you. Our secure, versatile storage units are ready to meet your needs. Contractors, keep your site organized and efficient. Store your materials with us and access them anytime you need. Businesses, industries of any size, Workbox LLC is your trusted partner for flexible, safe storage. Workbox 343-4886 and workboxllc.com.
Hey, it's Hunt Palmer. I'm here to tell you about my friend Jonathan Carbo and the Highland Insurance Group based right here in Baton Rouge. At the Highland Insurance Group, they pride themselves on technical expertise when it comes to commercial insurance. If you're a business owner who isn't familiar with the details of your current insurance program, you're not alone, but now is the time to fix it, not after the hurricane or the car accident. Call the Highland Insurance Group today to set up a free audit of your policies and let their experts place your program with one of the dozens of carriers they're contracted with. Or find them online at the Highland Insurance Group, highlandig.com.
Now that it's cooler outside, this is the perfect time of year to get new windows, doors, and siding by calling me, Tommy, from Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. So set up your free quote today at gotommys.com. That's GEAUX, Tommys.com.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus, $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
If you love hunting, fishing, and the outdoors,
don't miss the Louisiana Outdoor Expo.
March 14th through 16th in Gonzales.
At the expo, you'll find everything for hunting, fishing, and the outdoors.
Rods and reels,
hunting gear and clothing,
plus a huge selection of boats,
tractors, ATVs, and outdoor power equipment.
There's fun for the whole family, including the exciting Doc Dogs dog jumping competition.
The Louisiana Outdoor Expo.
March 14th through 16th at Lamar Dixon in Gonzales.
Brought to you by Riverlands Insurance Services.
Hey, it's Musso, inviting you to join me for another season of Musso at the Box presented by Gauntlet Light Installers. We've got you covered daily on LSU baseball. Go to YouTube or your favorite podcast app, search Musso at the Box, and get subscribed today.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Huge news. Right now at Wendy's, you can get a Son of Baconator for just $3. I don't think you understand this situation. The Son of Baconator is only $3 for a limited time. You know, smoked bacon, rich melted cheese. That Son of Baconator is only $3. Thank you to whoever wished upon that star. For bacon that just won't quit, gotta be Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii, not valid on a combo or on third-party delivery platform.
Jake and James of Trash Rangers. How does $13.95 a month for residential trash pickup sound to you? Go to trashrangers.com for all the info and make the switch today. That's trashrangers.com.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Jimmy, Charlie, and Troy. 3 best buddies sitting around talking sports bets. Let's welcome in Troy Macker from Bet Rivers.
All right, let's go up to the East Coast. Troy, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Just excited for a very big weekend of college basketball.
Man,
now, full on. March will be here, and best time of the year, man.
Crunch time, man. It is good. What games are you looking forward to the most, Troy? And before we start that, let me ask you what you thought on your on the Maryland-Michigan State game this past week.
Ooh, I mean, it's such a tough finish. College Park, the Xfinity Center is legitimately one of the toughest places to play. It's a great home court environment when the team is good, and that was an electric game. Michigan State, their defense was exceptional. It seemed like every play low in the block, there was a big block or a swat. Maryland's starting 5, which is they really don't have a lot of depth, but their starting 5 each person in the starting 5 has scored 20 points or more at least twice, which is crazy. And they couldn't get anything done. And the big talking point is Jacoby Gillespie taking a 3-pointer with 5 seconds to go when it was a contested shot. gives enough time for a long rebound, a couple dribbles, and a half-court shot, you think you should, take a little bit more time off the clock so your other team can't get a possession and get that buzzer beater. But, it's interesting. When they got the ball back with about 10 seconds to go, Gillespie, who ran the ball up the court, didn't know what to do. He thought maybe they had a timeout. They didn't. And it looked like he was kind of unsure of what to do in the last 10 seconds. Maryland really should have had that game, or at least gone into overtime. But just a crazy finish. I think the best shot of the year, a true half-court buzzer beater, top 15 matchup. That's what you want as the calendar switches from February to March.
It was half-court plus. That was about 55. I can't kill them for, name me another game where somebody made a half-court, a 55-foot shot.
Right.
It hasn't happened. What do you think happens if it does go to overtime? It just continues, just sluggish, low scoring, going to fall a bucket or a bucket either way, because Michigan State would have covered if that would have continued.
Yeah, I think Michigan State wins that game by 2-3 points, maybe 4 if foul shots. They just, over the last 3 minutes, Maryland did erase about a 4 or 5 point lead, but they just couldn't keep up. It was a very slow pace and low scoring game, but they're bigs, and they have Julian Reese and obviously Derek Queen, who's a late lottery pick. Just couldn't get anything done. I love the rim protecting that Michigan State had. I swear, every time you looked up and they were going in the low post for a putback or layup, there was a ball on the hand, or there was a hand on the ball. There was I would love to go back and see how many deflected shots or blocks there were, because it seemed like there was one every possession. I think Michigan State would have eked it out. They just got more timely buckets, more timely offensive rebounds. That was really the key down the stretch.
What do you think about Auburn at full strength, Kentucky at Rupp tomorrow?
Oh, so tricky. Auburn's the best team in the country. I really, the line was just opened. It's Auburn -5.5. I think Kentucky has faltered a little bit. I really want to take Auburn 5.5, but Kentucky has done this in spots where they play well above expectations. Say what you want about Mark Pope as like a long-term figurehead of the Kentucky program, but he gets the most out of his team. His team plays with so much heart, so much toughness, 110%, all the cliches, something that you didn't necessarily say about John Calipari's time. I think I'd be on Auburn, but I can't rule out Kentucky because they just play really tough. And like you mentioned, they're healthy. And I think that's the biggest thing going into this marquee matchup.
Charlie, the line is out on the team total.
For Auburn, I'm going to say 85.
86.5.
Okay. We're pretty close to the center of the dartboard there.
I said 86.
I know. That's what I said.
Not bad. Charlie's right, though. Charlie, I said 85. I do find an 85, though, here, Charlie.
You're the guy on the Price is Right that bids $1 more than the guy in front of you.
No.
Yeah, that's perfect.
No, I'm the yodeler game.
Right.
Okay.
Cliffhanger. Yeah.
Cliffhanger. Charlie knows all that crap. All right.
Used to watch it on my lunch
What
hour.
about Battle of Tempo? You'll appreciate this. I know because Troy, you're a college basketball purist and enthusiast, and man, so much fun about the tournament. It's Battle of Tempo. And you got that in Alabama at Tennessee tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy. It's like a high-octane, sometimes inefficient offense in Alabama versus just, between in the trenches, counter-punching, dirty boxing team in Tennessee. The total is at 153.5, and I'd be inclined to, take the under there. Alabama is a little bit off kilter from time to time. Mark Sears is one of the great point guards in the country, but they just haven't been as effective at the three ball as they have in years past. So I'd probably take the under there. Not entirely sure, what the result will be. It's Tennessee -3.5. Could be a really good game, or I don't think there's a lot of margin for error here. I think it could be one of the very best games of the weekend, or it could be very ugly if Alabama is off its rocker and Tennessee is just pushing them and bullying them around, because that's what they like to do, is just play a really slow pace and pick their spots where Alabama wants to get shots up. So it could be a really, really good game, or I think it could be a brutal rock fight.
They just keep shooting. I had the over in the Mississippi State game in the middle of the week, and the live line didn't catch up to the total until about 9 minutes to go, and Alabama was winning the game by 30, and it cruised over.
I know. When you told me that you were sweating that over, I'm like, what? They scored 111. Really?
They didn't catch up with the live line until 9 minutes to go, and it breezed. It went to 184, and Alabama was never in jeopardy of losing that game from basically opening tip. So they're just going to keep shooting it, Troy. I know that. Doesn't matter what the score is.
Troy, I do think, and Charlie and I have kind of paid attention to a little bit. I think Alabama's style of play, which is very predictable, very analytic driven, they're going to shoot threes. They're not going to hesitate. Their team, the coach instills confidence in them pulling it at any point. Sometimes to a fault with Sears, who, even if he's not hot, he will just jack it up. From very early in the possession, but the thing is, they everything's predetermined. I don't know if it's that, but they seem to handle the road games. We know how strong that home court is in college basketball. I like Alabama plus 3.5 in this one tomorrow.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Tennessee is not prone to losing at home, even though Thompson Bowling's a great venue.
It is.
But when you have the three ball at your disposal, you can make up for a lot of stuff, especially against a team that wants to slow you down. You get 1 point to their 0 extra every possession. That's how you make up gaps. That's how you can pull away, especially on the road.
Troy, do you know if the two starters are back for Texas Tech tomorrow in their trip to Fog Allen, where their Kansas is 3.5-point favorites over Texas Tech?
No, I'm not sure. I haven't done
that up. Williams
yet on that one. Yeah. I think that will be, a major impact on the game. Right now, Kansas minus 2.5. Kansas, outside the top 25 for the first time in my life, it doesn't have a lot of confidence in Kansas yet. It's at Fog Allen. It's one of the hardest places to play. Kansas rarely loses there, more in conference than non-conference, but Texas Tech has been good on the road. They've been very solid this year, but I do think injury news is going to impact this as much. It's minus 2.5. That would figure that probably the Texas Tech players are going to play. If they weren't, maybe it'd be a little bit longer. I can't see Texas Tech being a road favorite at Fog Allen, given how many struggles Kansas has had this year.
Yeah, so Kansas is 3.5 at home there. That was, I think Texas, I'm hearing that they might be back. So that's their second and third leading scorers. Houston, that's another thing that we didn't follow up with Massero. Houston has had 2 wins last week. Good teams, but Iowa State was out 31 points in their top 2 scorers. Yeah. And Texas Tech was out 30 points a game, and it hurt them on that Monday night game. So Florida A&M, how about Arizona going to Iowa State in Ames? We know how tough of a place that is to win. And BYU's hosting West Virginia. San Francisco hosting Gonzaga. San Francisco is a capable team that can upset Gonzaga there. Anything else that you like before we let you go, Troy?
Yeah, so there's one other game in the late window. It's a 10 p.m. tip-off between Oregon State and St. Mary's. St. Mary's is the best team in the West Coast Conference. They're the ranked team as opposed to Gonzaga. They've lost just once in conference play. They're 26-4 overall. The line's not out. I'm guessing that the Gales are going to be favored by like 12 or 13 points. Oregon State is 20-10. They're playing in the West Coast Conference as well this year, not in the Pac-12. Oregon State has been very, very good against the spread. They are not going to beat St. Mary's. But I think Oregon State keeps this within 7 to 11 points. So if the line is 12.5, 13.5, I would definitely be on Oregon State to cover, even though they're going on the road to Moraga, California, which is not an easy place to play either. It's a very small gym. But I think St. Mary's should win, but I do like Oregon State to cover if they are, underdogs of 12, 13 points.
I think it's going to be a little bit more than that. I think it's going to be about 14. That's what I'm
really?
thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me Oregon State.
Oregon State's been really tough at home. It's like I think they're like 14-2 at home, and the only 2 losses were St. Mary's in Oregon. So they're puts up, but on the road, I think you'll be getting. What were they favored in that game at Corvallis? because I could flip it around 10 points pretty much where it is. Also, St. Mary's is going to be public. They just beat in a high-profile game for the West Coast Conference.
Yep.
They went and beat Gonzaga on the road as like a 7-point underdog by 7.
Yeah, we went against Oregon State earlier this week. It's San Francisco.
So you didn't know what that?
I don't know. I don't know what the line was, but
okay.
And St. Mary's was 4.5 favored at Corvallis.
Okay, so yeah, it's going to be
So
about
at 10 points. There's your 14.5. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 14.5. So we'll see. Troy Macker, follow him on Twitter at Troy Macker. That's MACHIR, MACHIR. Troy will be back with us for Mardi Gras. Charlie will be on a float somewhere at a ball or something, toasting. He's royalty, Troy. Somebody got to carry the workload around here.
Just wait till Delmar. Wait till Delmar.
Thank you, Troy. Good luck this weekend, buddy.
You too, guys. Talk to you soon.
Yes, indeed. Don't forget our friends over at Town Square Pizza, Charlie.
King cake.
You had the king cake.
I had the king cake. It is absolutely fantastic. Very, very rich bread. It's absolutely delicious. Comes with the standard is the cinnamon, which is absolutely fantastic.
Right.
Also comes with cream cheese,
but cinnamon and cream cheese.
Yeah, you can do chocolate chip. You can also do the praline flavor, and they will do a chocolate chip cream cheese king cake for you, which I think that's my gift when I go down to the ball.
So go down. Hey, Spanish Town, Town Square Pizza open tomorrow, so it's great for grab and go pizza, fresh, piping hot, delicious. I mean, very, very popular. And I mean, two of you can get a nice filling snack in splitting one. Look, daiquiris tomorrow by the half gallon as well, open till 8 p.m. So if you're headed down to Spanish Town tomorrow for all the festivities, don't forget Town Square Pizza facing Town Square on North. Again, check them out for daiquiris, for pizza, and for king cakes.
Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Hi, this is Ashley McDaniel with Landmark Bank. At Landmark Bank, we offer competitive CD rates, business and personal accounts, loans, mobile banking, and more. But what sets us apart is our personal touch and passion for our community. We believe that the future of our bank depends on the success and satisfaction of our customers. Come see a friendly face and someone who knows you and your business and wants to help you accomplish your goals. We're now open in Brewley and would love to talk to you. Give us a call at 225-250-5411 or stop in and see us. LandmarkBankLA.com.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Majestic Metals is located in Sorrento with over 60 years experience in the pre-engineered metal building industry. Majestic Metals is the leading metal roofing manufacturer with high-quality products, superior customer service, and a fast turnaround. We offer both commercial and residential roofing, including a standing seam panel in a variety of colors with a 40-year paint warranty. A metal roof can add value to your home and is energy efficient. Call Majestic Metals at 225-675-3800 and talk to our knowledgeable sales staff for all your commercial and residential needs. Visit us on the web at majesticmetalsinc.com.
Hey, Baton Rouge, remember Red Stick Sports, your hometown favorite since 1981. They've been here through every season, serving our community with pride. Still family owned and operated, they're more than just a store. They're a part of your life. Whether it's football, baseball, or any sport in between, they've got you covered. Any season, for any reason. Red Stick Sports is there for you. Swing by today and keep the spirit alive. Red Stick Sports, where every game begins. 5770 Essen Lane.
Water is water, right? Not when it's Evermore. Smooth tasting Evermore water is Mother Nature's masterpiece. Evermore is natural artesian water. Maybe you want a healthier lifestyle, a high-end athlete who wants better hydration, or a parent who wants something healthier for their kids. You want Evermore. EVAMOR. Evermore. Available at great local retailers.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Let's face it, life throws you curveballs. At Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, we help you stand tall. Whether you're facing ED or battling low T, we've got the solutions to help you regain the oomph you need. Goodwood is your partner in men's sexual wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
You've heard me talk about GiveMeTheVin.com for years, but wait till you hear what our customers said about GiveMeTheVin.com buyer Mike.
Excellent experience with the company. Mike was my point man, and he made everything as smooth as possible. Even though I hit a few snags on my end, he was patient, and we made a deal. It was hassle-free, and I would not hesitate to sell another car to GiveMeTheVin.com again.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Ready to take your brand awareness to new heights?
Experience the power of audio and digital marketing combined with Guaranteed Digital Media.
Our radio branding messages resonate through the airwaves, leaving a lasting impression.
Combine this with digital tactics like retargeting, geofencing, and social media to really boost your reach.
Imagine your radio ad complemented by targeted digital ads, ensuring your brand is seen and heard across multiple platforms.
To learn more, visit 1045ESPN.com and click connect. That's 1045ESPN.com and click connect.
Jake and James, the Trash Rangers. Do you need one more reason to switch your residential trash pickup? How about $13.95 a month for the first few months? Go to trashrangers.com and make the switch today.
Live at lunch with Odd and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road.
You're coming in like 10 seconds.
All right, we're back over here. We're live at lunch, live at Ruffino's. Max, real quick, a nap. Start off with
We gotta go.
All right, live at lunch, live at Ruffino's.
Live at lunch.
It's a new year. Aren't you ready to finally get the IRS off your back? Hi, I'm attorney Kerry Bryson with the Bryson Law Firm. We've helped so many people figure out their IRS issues, and they always tell us they wish they'd called us sooner. Friends, the IRS isn't going away. Matter of fact, they're ramping up their efforts. So now's the time to call the Bryson Law Firm and let us get between you and the IRS and make your life better. If you have wage levies, bank levies, tax liens, or unpaid taxes, call the Bryson Law Firm and let us get out in front of the IRS and devise your best resolution plan. IRS problems are legal problems. So call the Bryson Law Firm. We're local. Our headquarters are in Lafayette, and we have offices statewide. Or visit BrysonLawFirm.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Bryson Law Firm. Results may vary. LSBA filing number LA2316155.
Decision Critical, the premier concierge nursing agency in Baton Rouge, is now offering 24-hour packages personalized to fit the needs of you and your loved one. Whether it's for 24 hours following a surgery or 24 hours a week at your mother-in-law's, the dedicated and compassionate private duty nurses at Decision Critical are here to provide the quality in-home care everyone deserves. Visit DecisionCriticalBR.com to schedule a discovery call today.
Go local and go free with Go Free Checking from Neighbors Federal Credit Union. No monthly maintenance fees, no balance requirements, and no strings attached. Just the safety and security that comes with Baton Rouge's largest credit union. And with direct deposit set up through NFCU's Early Payday Program, you can get access to your funds up to 3 days early. Come by one of our 11 area branches or apply online at neighborsfcu.org. Go free with Go Free Checking from Neighbors Federal Credit Union. Insured by NCUA.
This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank. Grow your nest egg savings with a great CD rate from Home Bank. For a limited time, you can earn 4.25% annual percentage yield, and you get to choose the term. Pick 3, 7, or 11 months and get this excellent return on your savings. The minimum balance is only $2,500. It really is that simple. Stop by any South Louisiana Home Bank location and speak with a local banker today. Good for business, good for life. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Huge news. Right now at Wendy's, you can get a Son of Baconator for just $3. I don't think you understand this situation. The Son of Baconator is only $3 for a limited time. You know, smoked bacon, rich melted cheese. That Son of Baconator is only $3. Thank you to whoever wished upon that star. For bacon that just won't quit, gotta be Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii, not valid on a combo or on third-party delivery platform.
Louisiana's big weather can mean big damage to your roof. Our team offers free inspections and guarantees your satisfaction. Call 756-8603 or visit riceandroofing.com.
Just to be on the safe side.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Odd and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch, live at Ruffino's. Max, give us a golf update before we bring up Bruce Marshall.
Yeah, Jake Knapp still has the lead. He birdied the first hole. He is now at 13 under par, has a 3-shot lead over Daniel Berger, who was one of Wes's picks, actually his favorite pick at 28-1. So we've got a couple guys in the mix. The current odds, Knapp is 3-1 live, Daniel Berger 4-1 live, and Russell Henley, who's just getting his round underway, is at plus 700.
All right. So Knapp is your pick, and Berger is Wes Reynolds' pick. So, and the current odds are pretty close. I heard because a lot of golfers complained about how tough this course was. They came back. You heard one of the posts yesterday. Make PGA National hard again?
Yes. Yes. There were a lot of complaints yesterday. Way too easy. They changed the grass type. It's normally Bermuda, and they overseeded this ryegrass, which made the rough just non-penal
Had
whatsoever.
some rain early in the week as well.
Soft golf course certainly didn't help, but they've been trying to make this course easier for a couple of years.
Florida golfing is usually a little bit of a breeze. It was very calm also.
Picked up a little bit in the afternoon.
Oh, no, but
when
when did he shoot the 59?
The 59 came in the morning when it was playing easier.
Came in the morning. Let's go out to Las Vegas, hook it up with Bruce Marshall. Brucey, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm great. And Jimmy, this is a big night because we got a little history lesson tonight. We got UCLA at Purdue tonight.
Conference.
And this is actually
Joe Barry
UCLA's
Carroll,
fourth
Kiki
ever
Vandeweghe, huh? 81?
I'm going back. Let me go back further.
Rick
that was
Mount.
the Final Four game in 1980. Yes, and in what was, I still say, the greatest college basketball game I've ever seen. Now, UCLA Houston at the Astrodome was the greatest college hoops event of all time, and that came 7 weeks after the opening game of that 67-68 season. It was at Purdue. It was the night they opened Mackey Arena, which they just called Purdue Arena at the time. But who comes in to help open the arena but none other than UCLA and John Wooden, who, of course, was a Purdue All-American and had coached at Indiana State. He was a legend in that area, and, of course, UCLA was a defending national champion. Of course, had Big Lou Alcindor. It was also, mentioned Rick Mount. It was his debut game, and he was so ballyhooed. He had been on the cover of Sports Illustrated as a high school senior. There's a little question about him going into that game with a foot injury, but he played, and he hit his first 4 shots. The arena erupted. Dick Enberg called the game on TV, and they syndicated this in L.A., which UCLA games were on, and also in Indianapolis. But Purdue, after a fast start, UCLA took the lead, took control up until the late minutes. UCLA had a 12-point lead, and then Purdue made a run late. Not just Mount. They also had Herm Gilliam, Billy Keller. These are 2 future good pros, along with Mount. And in a wild sequence in the last minute featuring turnovers by UCLA, fouls, missed free throws, technical fouls. Mount had a chance to win the game, missed a shot at a baseline jumper. Alcindor got the rebound, whipped the ball to Lynn Shackelford, whipped the ball to Bill Sweet. 30-footer at the buzzer, swish. UCLA wins by 2. It was the greatest college game I ever saw. Now, I was only in 4th grade at the time, but I saw it. I'm telling you. Don't let anybody tell you it wasn't. It was a night you would never forget.
I've heard people talk about it, and this was a tournament game? Was the regular season? Had to be tournament.
No, opening game of that season, and the first game at the new Purdue Arena. Yeah.
Well, when, the early days, actually, when I was going to jazz games in the late 70s in New Orleans and Pistol Pete and everything else, a lot of people mentioned Rick Mount as one of the most respected perimeter shooters, that they had seen, at that in that era.
Oh yeah, and no 3-point shot in that era, and he was as great a shooter as college hoops, had ever seen. And Maravich, him. I mean, they were in the same category as far as shooters, but he did all that scoring with just without a 3-point line back then. So imagine if he had 3-point, and all amount shots would have been. Most of his baskets would have been 3-pointers eventually. But that night was so electric. I mean, it's hard even to describe. And UCLA's played there a few times since. They went there in 2000. They went there and won, and they also won a first 4 game in 2021. Remember that year they played all the games around India except a few they played up in at Purdue in the first 4 that year. And UCLA beat Michigan State. So this is actually their 4th trip all time to Mackey tonight.
All right, Brucey, is it? Oh, nice shot by Berger there, Max. That's going to be a tap in for Birdie. But play 18 games regular season in the SEC. So 7-11. There are going to be a couple 7-11s in there. Is there going to be a 6-12 conference record that gets in? Because the way things are shaping up, could be.
It could be, and it's like especially Saturdays when they're all playing, and once in a while they spill again to a Sunday. It's like a tournament day every Saturday in the SEC. I mean, all these, every game has some impact on the dance. And like you say, you're going to probably see 13 teams in there. The intrigue this week and going into the SEC tournament in a couple weeks is going to be, I think, right at the end, though, of the cut line there. And so that means Georgia, that means Texas, maybe Arkansas. I mean, that's where maybe Oklahoma. So there'll be more. The drama will sort of be around them. I mean, can they do enough to sneak into the field? Of those right now, so tomorrow, Georgia, Texas, that is a very big game tomorrow in Austin. And I think Texas is in a little bit of trouble. That loss to South Carolina didn't help. Arkansas goes to South Carolina. That's not that easy. South Carolina's only got one SEC win, but they've been close a lot. But Calipari does it again the other night.
Yeah.
I think Arkansas is going to make it. I don't know about Oklahoma or Texas or Georgia, but Georgia certainly made its case the other night and helped its cause by that win at Florida, at home against Florida. That was a great game.
I'm with you. We're on the same wavelength. So Texas, Georgia, and Oklahoma, if they don't get in at those teams, all 3 of those coaches in trouble?
I think Moser's probably got another year. Michael White, maybe.
I'm hearing he's got to make the tournament, Bruce. Mike White.
Rodney Terry's the one of those 3, I'd say he's the most in trouble because he was sort of reluctantly they had to go with him after they moved Beard out, and that team was loaded that year. They made the coaching change, and Terry took him deep to the Elite Eight, but I don't think he was the guy they had in mind to lead this program. They almost had to hire him after that interim season, but I'd say he's in a little more trouble than the other 2.
So Bruce, Porter Moser, he did a hell of a coaching job getting that Loyola team to the tournament. We agree there, right?
Right.
Okay. I mean, it wasn't like he had just had the horses that he rode. I mean, they executed at a high level. They had a big guy that they rode a little bit, rode everything through, but this is 4 years and no tournament, Bruce.
Not just tournament. He's won 35% of his conference games.
35% of his conference games.
He is 20 games below 500.
20 games below 500 in the league. Bruce, it's rougher than you realize. I mean, we still have that fresh in our mind, but that's tough to survive in this league.
Well, and I know, and I think he could be in some trouble too. There's a couple things to remember about Oklahoma. Hoops, at least, not football. Hoops. They are well behind in nil for hoops than any other SEC side. And the teams have been competitive. The Big 12 has been awfully rough. Now, he didn't rise them up the last 3 years, and he's having trouble in the SEC again this year, but they're close. They've got 3 non-conference wins that are all quad ones that will help them. Louisville, Michigan, and Arizona. And if they can just win a couple more here down the stretch, and they've got some games, they got Texas coming up, they got Kentucky, Ole Miss, Missouri, Texas in the tournament. If Mosier can get him in the dance, I think he's safe. Michael White, I think, is the safest of those three. Mosier could be, but you're right, he could be in trouble if he doesn't make the dance. But I think Oklahoma realizes now, and they're starting to ramp that up. The nil side for hoops, they've fallen behind there, but they're going to make that up. Whether Mosier's there beyond this year remains to be seen.
I'm beginning to wonder if Moses is a very good coach. The Final Four run was great, and they had the Sweet 16 year as well. But when I looked it up, he was a 500 coach in league play at Loyola, and he was a 31% winning percentage at Illinois State. No, he had those 2 big years, and other than that, he was
Charlie, I saw him
coach.
consistently beat teams that had better rosters than him.
He did a fantastic job those
that
3
was
years.
maybe that particular team was just high on their basketball IQ, their maturity level, and they just they were receiving and putting into place what he was preaching. But that team, they executed at a very high level.
No question. But
I mean, him and LSU are 15th and 16th in basketball NIL player budget.
And I get all of that. But over 18 years as a head coach at Loyola, Illinois State, and Oklahoma, he had those 2 monster years. And the rest of the way, he's a losing coach. I mean, 16 out of 18 seasons are, they're just okay at Loyola. So I maybe he is a good coach and there's some bad luck somewhere in there. But overall, not great record.
On the other side of the resource-rich, athletic departments, I was watching at CSUN last night. Cal State University Northridge, baby. Yes, indeed. Matty the Matador, who's getting into it. Love that mascot. So he's very robotic in his moves. That little Jim was jumping, but UCSD goes in there. Now, we released it on Otter Locks. It was at 6.5. Fine. Went to 5.5. Some places, shop your lines. We say it over and over in college basketball more than any other sport. But the UCSD goes ahead and wins a game that against a team on the road, it could have been a little bit of a banana peel for you, Bruce, but they keep on rolling. I don't see I don't know, man. The roster is not, it is limited. But man, they're executing at a high level.
Well, they are, and you look in the net. I saw them in the mid-30s in the net this week. They would have a shot at an at large if they lose in the Big West Tournament final, say to Irvine.
Right.
The best win non-conference. They did go into Utah State and win, and that is a really good win. In adjusted offensive and defensive efficiency, and that can be a little deceiving because that's still schedule related, but this team ranks very high. I've watched them play. Everybody shoots threes. It's an interchangeable roster there. They've got 5 guys who are all they all do sort of the same thing. It's like a positionless team. And the coach, Eric Olin, whose best player last year, Bryce Pope, transferred to SC and hasn't even played for SC. He's going to get mentioned for some of these jobs. And there are some jobs opening up as we speak in the West. Utah just opened up this week, and I've heard his name mentioned for that. So keep an eye on Eric Olin's name as a coach who may get a call from somewhere. Last year, they were good enough. They got into the CIT last year, but they were still transitioning to D1, so they weren't eligible for the NIT or the NC2A. But he's a good coach, and they're a good team.
Bruce, they maybe don't have the personnel, but the one thing I noticed defensively, they get beat laterally a little bit, but they definitely go for havoc. They try to go for steals. They lead the country with a 7.2 turnover margin per game. They definitely create steals, create fast breaks, and like you said,
so they're high risk. They take a lot of chances on defense.
For sure. I think a fast team would give them problems. Maybe not as much a big team. I think they could handle a big team in the tournament, but not a real fast team that can blow by them.
You want a cross-sport comparison there, Charlie? Saints Super Bowl season team defense was not good. Gave up a ton of yards, so they weren't real good. But they took chances and they created turnovers, and it made the difference in the game. So if they play, maybe the coach is being creative, and that they feel that if they just play straight up, they're not going to be real good in their defensive efficiency, but taking some chances a little bit more. And now with Brucey card tonight, how about this Northwestern? The injuries that they were dealt this season, I think Collins has done a really nice job. They're not going to the tournament this year, but man, they played 10 straight games with single-digit outcomes. There were 3-7 in those games. And so they were way more competitive than they were. Tough with Nebraska, where they led by like 20 right out the chute and got beat. But now they have double-digit wins on the road at Ohio State and Minnesota. And now they're coming home against Iowa. 4.5 is what I see there. Do you like that game or anything else tonight?
I do, Jimmy. I do like Northwestern. And Collins, you mentioned the injury. Barnheiser was a very important guy for him, and he got hurt about a month ago. And they've turned things around, and they won those 2 on the road impressively. The defense played great. You talk about a coach who I think might be in some trouble is Fran McCaffrey at Iowa. I mean, this team is so soft. They've been soft for a couple of years. I was teased North Carolina earlier. They're the Iowa of the ACC. No, nobody's as soft as Iowa. They just don't play defense. And I think Northwestern might be able to get them tonight. So I'm gonna give Northwestern a shot there tonight. In the Metro Atlantic, my favorite league. Charlie loves it. You love it too. I'm going to give Tobin Anderson's Iona a shot tonight. A very short price. A lot of short prices, a lot of close games in this league, but they're at Niagara. This is Greg Paulus. He's had a very difficult year. It's been a difficult year for the Buffalo area schools in the MAAC. That's Niagara and Canisius. They're both at the bottom of the table. Iona, DeJour Reeves, transferred to Northern Colorado, might be the best player in this league. Iona, very short price. I'll give them a look tonight. And one more out here, down the street from me tonight. I'm going to give the Wolfpack a shot with Nevada. Not playing too bad lately. They're here against UNLV tonight. Rebs probably again minus their point guard, Deaton Thomas. He's very important. They did squeeze out one in San Jose the other night, but they looked very sluggish without Thomas against CSU last weekend. Nevada's not playing that bad. 2 best players in the court are probably Nick Davidson, their forward, and Kobe Sanders, their guard. And again, a very short price. I think just asking Nevada to win. I think they do it tonight at the Thomas and Mack.
As Colucci would say, of his 2-0 night, Charlie tried to race him off with his waxing poetic about Mickey Loomis yesterday, but we got his picks in, and he went 2-0, by the way. So, you want to keep talking about Mickey Loomis, or we're going to let Colucci give us out some winners on the ice. But anyway, Martinelli. It's not a cheese. It's Northwestern's best player right now, averaging 23 points a game in his last 6. Martinelli, as Colucci would say, at the Rampart. Huh, Brucey?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's Colucci's favorite player at Northwestern for sure.
Anything tomorrow? We got some good ones tomorrow. Anything you're picking at? We some of the bigger games we've got lines on already.
Yeah, I'm going to keep riding Arkansas here. I know South Carolina can be a little bit scrappy, but not only did Arkansas end up pulling that thing out in overtime, they ended up covering that game against Texas too. I think they've just got something going here, and South Carolina did come back down to earth pretty hard after that upset win over Texas last week. Missouri let them have it pretty good. Short price again. I'm going to keep riding Calipari here. If you got 8.5 in the Texas A&M game 2 weeks ago, and a lot of people did if they bet that early enough, he's got 7 straight covers here now. So I'm going to keep riding Arkansas, Jimmy.
It's 8 now if you had the right number at College Station, where it fell 8. We had some 8.5. I had 8.5, but there were some 7.5s out there as well. That would make it 8 in a row. I do want to compare notes before we let you go, Bruce. We think that the 2 players for Texas Tech with a combined 30 points a game that were out on the game this week at home against Houston will be back for the game at Lawrence tomorrow at Fog Allen. Or is that what you're hearing as well?
Yeah, I think they might be back. And, Kansas at home has been better than Kansas has been very disappointing this year. And they're only 3-10, their last 13 against the spread. So if Texas Tech's full strength, they're a better team than Kansas this year. And besides Dickinson, I'm not sure Kansas, they just have not been able to get consistent production from the others. Texas Tech's whole, I might give them a look.
Have a little movement as well. Tennessee has moved up from 3.5 to 4.5 for that game at home against Alabama. So there you go. Rick Mount, Lou Alcindor, Charlie. He trumped me. He went back. I had Joe Barry Carroll and Kiki Vandeweghe. Come on, Bruce. Larry Brown, against Dr. Dunkenstein in the final.
Oh yeah, we can. I can give you a whole show on that UCLA team in 1980 if you want, but 67-68, that's the real season.
Dr. Dunkenstein, that was the 48 vertical that we just couldn't get over. Had a full length, a big old Nike poster in my room growing up, Charlie, of Dr. Duncanstein.
Dr. Duncanstein.
That's right, Darryl Griffith. Brucey, there you go. Mincy's Bruce. By the way, Mincy was on a Mardi Gras float. I mean, like they're paying tribute to Mincy, so you've known you've made it in life when you're on a Mardi Gras float. So just keeping you.
Oh God, I wish I was there. Man, that would have been great.
Throw me something, Mister. All right, Bruce, you're the best, man. Good luck to you this weekend, Bruce. We'll talk to you next week.
Have fun this weekend, boys.
All right, Bruce Marshall, formerly of CBSSportsline.com, VegasInsider.com as well. So doing all of his stuff right now with his handicapping of college basketball. He loves it. The best game he's ever seen. I've heard some people talk about that game. I didn't know it was the season opener.
Yeah, that one's one I had missed. Best game you ever saw? Did he ever saw? What's the best game you ever saw?
Best game
in person.
That LSU Kentucky game when all 10 starters fouled out, double overtime. Kentucky went on to win a national championship, but I mean, it's got to be Georgetown, North Carolina championship game.
Dome that,
yeah.
Were you
went to the Saturday games as well.
Were you in the PMAC for LSU Marymount?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I was there for that one too.
Absolutely. And I knew
it's up there.
I mean, it's up there. It had its. But, Marymount would go play that way with anybody. I mean, you're going to get a lot of points. They had some star power on that. LSU looked like they were running away. Then LSU had to scramble to get it into overtime. We're talking about Michael Jordan and Patrick Ewing with everything on the line coming down to the last possession of the game.
And I wasn't
it was good.
That LSU Vegas game might have had as many pros on the floor that day at the PMAC as any game. When they played.
LSU Vegas. Yes.
Ogden and Johnson. And
yes, no doubt. Don't forget our friends at United Community Bank. Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, David Henry, Prentice Wilkes, our great team, David Campbell as well. At United Community Bank. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live at Ruffino's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at Lunch.
Looking for some time away but don't want to go too far? The Cook Hotel at LSU is just what you've been searching for. Book your getaway today and enjoy a peaceful escape overlooking the University Lake in any of their luxurious guest rooms or suites. Their newly renovated bar is back open for service, and they're located near some of the best restaurants in town. Visit thecookhotel.com or call 225-383-2665 to book your stay today.
Darren James and Associates, powered by LPT Realty, commit to excellent service unlike any other. Darren and his team save buyers as much money as possible. If you're ready to buy or sell your home, call Darren James or visit agent225.com.
The worst corridor for sex trafficking is New Orleans to Houston. Metanoia Manor is a safe house for trafficked girls. It helps with healing and provides education and life skills. Donate now at helpprotectthesegirls.com.
For nearly 50 years, Gulf Coast Office Products has been Louisiana's trusted leader in office technology, helping businesses in every industry streamline efficiency. As an official partner of the New Orleans Saints and Pelicans, we're committed to delivering top-tier service with flexible leasing options and customized invoicing. With over 100 dedicated employees, we have the expertise to keep your business running smoothly. Call for a free analysis at 225-756-2644. Gulf Coast Office Products, your workforce efficiency lifeline.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, fillet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
Now that it's cooler outside, this is the perfect time of year to get new windows, doors, and siding by calling me, Tommy, from Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. So set up your free quote today at GoTommys.com. That's GEAUX Tommys.com.
Country's hottest hit maker. Thank God Russell Dickerson. WrestleMania Tour 2025. March 13th, 7:30 p.m. Beau Rivage. She likes it when Russell Dickerson. Nothing but a high-energy live show you won't want to miss. On sale now at BeauRivage.com. Schedule subject to change. Some restrictions may apply.
Check engine light, weird clink, truck giving you a shake? Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram can get you in for service today. You don't have to wait. Same day service. Schedule now at BayouCDJR.com. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Feeling off your game? Low T might be the culprit. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has your back. Revitalize your energy and your mood. Let Goodwood help you get back to peak performance. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Jake and James of Trash Rangers. How does $13.95 a month for residential trash pickup sound to you? Go to trashrangers.com for all the info and make the switch today. That's trashrangers.com.
Construction, welding, maintenance, and fabrication. Action Industries does it all. Proud partner of LSU Athletics.
Live at lunch with Otten Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
It's an early start for LSU baseball today up in Frisco, Texas. They play Kansas State, who is 4-4 on the season, but they do have some quality wins in there. They beat at Globe Life Field Arkansas last Friday by a run. They beat TCU in that same tournament on Sunday 10-2. So they played some ranked teams already. They also played North Carolina in Chapel Hill, who's a top 10 team. They lost that game 12-9. The stats are not overwhelming. They hit 269 as a team, and team ERA through 8 games is 5.22, and Max, you tell me the wind is blowing out today.
Yeah, 10-14, straight out to center. So the park will play a little smaller.
Yeah. Gusting a little bit here today for the Tigers, who have got off to a good start on this little mini road trip with the game against Dallas Baptist at Globe Life Field. Cade Anderson going for the Tigers today, making his third start. Has had 2 good outings so far, 16 strikeouts, only 3 walks through the first 10 1/3 innings. In fact, LSU's 3 starting pitchers through 2 starts apiece have combined to strike out 42 and walk only 7. Again, the competition has not been great, but all 3 of those guys have demonstrated the ability to miss bats and have had pretty good
Who's the best lineup they're going to face this week of 3 teams?
I would say Nebraska, who was ranked until they lost last Sunday. Max, remind me, you remember who Nebraska lost to last week to drop out of the rankings? I'm trying to remember. But
they were ranked?
They were ranked before they lost a game last week, and they were like 22 in one of the polls.
They're 3-4 now. They lost to ULL.
They lost another game, okay. But I would say on paper, probably Nebraska out of the 3.
And Kansas State expected to start Jacob Frost, who has 3 appearances, 8 innings, just 1 game that he started, 3.38 ERA. Giving up some walks though, so watch out for that.
6 walks in 8 innings is not great. Now LSU, they had a pile of walks the other night, but they left a bunch of people on base. It was 15, I think they left on.
Well, you way out hit Dallas Baptist. The problem is you had some base running errors. You had Bear Jones get caught between first and second, and then you had a couple bad bunts from Josh Pearson. He popped it up into a double play at one point. So if you're going to be a team that can't hit many homers, which is maybe what we're expecting a little bit dominant on Bear Jones in terms of power, you got to be able to get the base running and the basics right, and that's something they'll have to clean up.
That's a departure from what Johnson has done for most of his time here. They have not run very much, and already this season they've stolen 11 out of 14 bases. There's been more hit and run plays. There's been more bunts. Where they put the ball in play. Curiel in particular, who you maybe don't want to see bunt too much, but he's got a couple of bunt hits already on the young season. So a little bit. What did Skip say after the 188 home run season? This year we're not going to play as much gorilla ball. We're going to play a little orangutan ball. We're going to run a little bit more. I think you see some of that. 2:00 for LSU and Kansas State.
Well, I mean,
4:00 for the two games, Saturday and Sunday.
Come in, you got Tommy White, Dylan Cruz, and some others in your lineup. You're gonna play small ball. I mean, crap.
You don't want to give away base runners when you got those mashers, but maybe not as many of those guys.
No, exactly. So, Charlie, give me a report card going in because you're going to be out on Monday, Tuesday. What's going to impress you? What's going to not?
Well, what I'd like to see is the pitch counts get up a little bit for the starters. They've made nice progress through the first 2 weeks. You'd like to see them get up maybe over 90 pitches apiece. You're a couple of weeks away from conference play. I'm interested to see if they had a close game against Kansas State today. Would they bring Kason Evans back after he worked two innings on Wednesday?
Got all his Max?
Yeah, Max.
Taking notes.
Max,
I'll be watching.
Would they bring him back? Are you going to be able to use him twice on a weekend and feel comfortable with that? Same thing for Maverick Rizzi. Would you bring him back twice on a weekend? Last weekend they brought Connor Benj back, back-to-back days. The second time he didn't pitch as well. So those are the kind of things that you want to work through and find out. And I think all year you're going to have this shuffling of one or two of the outfield spots. He's got about 6 guys out there that can play. I wouldn't mind seeing Curiel in center field for one of these games. They did that last weekend. Maybe opens up the possibility that you could have a platoon that, let's see Ethan Fry get a few at-bats this weekend because he's the one right-handed bat besides Stanfield out there. Also provides you a little bit of power. So that sorts itself out. And also this weekend, will you see Tanner Reeves? He got a start at third base last week. Will he get another start in one of the games this weekend? Or will we see Braswell in all 3 games?
Don't forget our friends at Total Maintenance, one of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC heating companies since 1980. My buddy Lucas Ragusa over there. It's a beautiful weather right now. I get it. You really lightly using that AC unit. You might even be opening up the windows, but now's the time to get that one-time AC heating AC check. It's normally $179. It's just $79 if you mention that you heard it right here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge live at lunch. Mention Charlie, mention Max, mention me, mention whoever, mention Barry the bartender, and get your $79 AC check. It's going to clean everything, check all the parts, make sure that something is not going to fail or it's about to fail. And when we stress these things later on, you want that thing to break down completely. So lower monthly bills. We're all about that. I mean, extend the lifetime of your unit, prevent you from more costly repairs if something needs a little working at that time. It's a win, win, win for just $79. Now's the time to do it. Not when it's 100 degrees, May and on. Now is the time to do it. Call our friends over at Total Maintenance, 480-1000, 480-1000. It's a one-time AC check, normally $179. You mentioned ESPN Radio, it's just $79. Total Maintenance, 480-1000.
One other thing real quick. Will they use William Schmidt out of the bullpen this weekend, or will they mark him for one of the 2 midweek games that they've got to get a Tuesday and a Wednesday game next week to start one of those games, or will they use him out of the bullpen in one of these 3 games? Live at lunch from Ruffino's, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Is your closet organized? Let's face it, most closets are cluttered and a hassle to organize, but that's just because they aren't designed around your specific needs. One Bath & Closets works closely with you to design your space where it makes sense for you and clears the clutter away. From shoe racks, baskets, seasonal storage, mirrors, drawers, cubbies, and doors, One Bath & Closets can make your dream closet a reality. Go with an industry leader in bathroom and now closet remodeling. Visit onebathandclosets.com to sign up for a free in-home consultation. That's onebathandclosets.com.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111 and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. And Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt.
This is Connie Fabry, President and CEO of the Greater Baton Rouge Industry Alliance. Louisiana industry is growing and we need you. Consider a career as an electrical or instrumentation technician, a millwright, or a pipe fitter. These careers are in high demand and pay over $17 to $20 an hour for starting pay. Visit industrymakes.org. Industry Makes. Let others make noise. We make everything else.
Looking for a new job in the new year? River Parish Contractors has lots of upcoming turnarounds and project work in 2025. Submit your application today at rpcontractors.com to get on the call list. RPC is a large local workforce that is constantly growing, and they're looking for talented pipe fitters, iron workers, equipment operators, rig welders, civil carpenters, and general labor. And you don't have to travel to have a career. Our jobs are close to home. Come join the team. Give Big Jake a call or apply online at rpcontractors.com. rpcontractors.com.
The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Finbom, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. And Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street to now in the South Downs Shopping Center.
It's carnival time at High Neighbor, and we're throwing you specials store-wide. USDA boneless New York strip steaks, $7.99 a pound. Fresh 80% lean ground chuck, $3.99 a pound. Fresh center cut pork chops, $2.49 a pound. Mandy deli sliced Cajun turkey breast, $7.99 a pound. Lisa Chaplin says it's gourmet king cakes for all.
I try to get it for the kids, and I want everybody to have their own little special king cakes.
And hot boiled crawfish every Friday and Saturday too.
High Neighbor. If you love hunting, fishing, and the outdoors,
Don't miss the Louisiana Outdoor Expo.
March 14th through 16th in Gonzales.
At the expo, you'll find everything for hunting, fishing, and the outdoors.
Rods and reels,
Hunting gear and clothing.
plus a huge selection of boats,
Tractors, ATVs, and outdoor power equipment.
There's fun for the whole family, including the exciting Duck Dogs dog jumping competition.
The Louisiana Outdoor Expo.
March 14th through 16th at Lamar Dixon in Gonzales.
Brought to you by Riverlands Insurance Services.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Today's show also brought to you in part by Coastal Capital Advisors, because when it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike. Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan no matter what your age or your financial situation, and they'll work with you, build that relationship that will last a lifetime. It certainly worked for me. More information, contact Phil Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376, online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors. Securities offered through New Age Securities, member FINRA SIPC. Max, this quarterback news in the NFL?
Yeah, big NFL quarterback domino to fall here during Combine Week. Matthew Stafford has agreed to restructure his deal with the Rams. It will keep him in Los Angeles and quashes any and all trade speculation with that as well. Schefter's also reporting that the Giants, who were very much linked to Stafford, potentially them and the Raiders were the most interested parties. The Giants are investigating all veteran quarterback options, including Aaron Rodgers.
I got a car I can trade them if they're interested in that. the things with Stafford is he didn't have a lot of guaranteed money relative to the quarterback market, a lot of guaranteed money left on his deal. So the two questions I would ask Stafford are, number one, do you still want to play? Which obviously he does. And number two, are you healthy? Which he looked healthy. He looked healthier to me last year than he did the year before that.
Man.
Yeah.
He looked great.
2 years ago he was hurt the whole pretty much the whole
Well,
year.
he could
Last
get
year
hurt again tomorrow. I mean, next year.
He could be, but if he's healthy and he wants to play, then I'm not moving that guy. I'm keeping him. Rams are a playoff team.
Shit, they were 13 yards away from beating the Super Bowl champs at their place in horrible conditions for them.
Yeah, so
snow.
I'm not moving him.
Hell.
If I were the New York Giants, I wouldn't touch Aaron Rodgers with a 10-foot pole. I don't know why he would make any sense for them. He's got 1 year left, if that, and the Giants aren't going anywhere next year. Why would you? Why would you bring that circus across town? How many times you say this? You can be a pain in the ass if you're a big time player. When Aaron Rodgers was playing at an MVP level, which he was 3 years ago, then that's fine. His level of play no longer, equals his pain in the assness. Okay, I mean, you playing at an MVP level, you spend the whole offseason in Egypt if you feel like it, but he ain't all in on playing. It's almost
All right, you want to
like
know?
a hobby to him.
You want to know? Because when you're fighting for your job, because you're embarrassed on Hard Knocks, because you basically gave the league most valuable player or the outside of a quarterback to your division rival, and they carrying home the trophy and everything else. Those cats are fighting for their job. So they want to go to war one last year. It's get it done or done. You're going to go with Daniel Jones or Aaron Rodgers. You ain't in no position to stand pat. Is what I'm saying. You gotta.
The coach and the GM want to save their jobs. I don't know if I'd hitch my wagon to
okay,
that.
Who are you gonna hitch to?
If I were the Giants, I'd go sign Sam Darnold. I'd make every effort to sign Sam Darnold. I mean, at least I know if that works out, he's going to be there for a while. He's committed to the process, and he's playing better than Aaron Rodgers
that's
right now.
That's a long-term commitment to a guy. I mean,
well, like you said, if you're the coach and the GM there, you go ahead and sign him, and if it doesn't work out, you're getting fired anyway.
Don't get
somebody
me wrong.
else's
Don't
problem.
get me wrong. Nobody else wants Darnold?
Oh, I'm sure he'll have.
If you're Darnold, would you want to go to the Giants? I mean, you're gonna get beat up.
I don't know how many starting opportunities he's going to get, Jimmy.
I mean, the Raiders. What are the Raiders going to do?
So it's interesting. The Raiders. There's a lot of talk right now that Tom Brady is very much adamant that he believes, and obviously he's very much involved with the Raiders now, that he wants a quarterback. If they bring in a rookie with the 6th overall pick, if they bring in a Shedeur Sanders who's been linked there, that they want to have him sit and wait and develop behind someone. So you could see them still be very, very active in the veteran free agency market right now. And I do think Sam Darnold would make sense for them, but they were heavily linked to Stafford already.
But if you draft Shedeur Sanders, Sam Darnold's going to want a multi-year contract. He's not going to go on a one-year deal anywhere, I don't think. He will be offered multi-year deals. So if you're the Raiders and you draft Shedeur Sanders, and he could be there at 6, or they could trade up, Sam Darnold's not going to sign there on a one-year deal. But I tell you who would, and that's Jimmy's buddy Daniel Jones. He would be the perfect seat warmer for Shedeur, because Jones, he's got to go back out and prove that he can still be a quality starting quarterback in this league. And if you give him a job with the Raiders, and I don't know how many starting jobs would be available for Jones, he would go on a one-year deal and say, hey, look, I'll go out and prove myself. I'll keep the seat warm till Sanders gets there. And if I prove myself, then somebody will give me a deal in next offseason. That makes more sense to me with the Raiders than Darnold does.
Parker missed a birdie by, an inch. This guy's reading the putt. The putt's good, though.
Fiddlesticks.
Rodgers 8th in the league in passing yardage last year.
The numbers weren't terrible.
He picked it up
lower,
six
lower in passer rating and QBR. But, the biggest pain he has in the league.
Yeah. What tier would you have him in? What quadrant would you have him in right now?
Well, you talking about just on game day? On game day?
No, you got to take the whole package.
He's in the it's 4-8. You talking about?
Yeah,
he'd be in a third.
That's me. That makes
17 to 24.
Yeah, and with all the
but
other
on
things
game day, he's better than that.
Yeah, he still can play. It's just he's not playing at the type of level that justifies everything else you got to take with him.
No, you say he still can play. You act like he can do what he did in the past.
No, I didn't say that.
He
said
still can play. Well, that
yeah.
can be taken. That can be interpreted a lot of different reasons, and we have to distinguish with him.
Third quadrant, okay, somewhere between 17 and 24.
Playing wise, I mean, and yes, you would require some strong leadership within your organization, like Sean Payton or something. Like, man, I ain't putting up with your crap, dude. You coming here to play? I'm running the show. But I mean, he's. I mean, on game day, him and Darnold are pretty damn close. Pretty damn close. Darnold's way more fit in, blend in, and a better leader. Yeah. He's better for your locker room. There's no doubt. But it would require, and you don't have that at the Giants. The coach is about to get fired. The coach could have got fired this year. Yeah, he could have got fired. Sure. The GM could have got fired. Yeah. I mean, they all could. They could have cleaned house. So they're all on their last leg. I mean, if they start 1-6, they may clean house. And so I'm just talking about Darnold. I mean, I would think Darnold would have a better option than New York. That's
and he might
at this stage.
I've heard that his market is not as hot as people thought it would be. That's some of the early reporting that he might end up in Minnesota.
Well,
and just
how
give
are
it
we
a shot.
talking about? Because his last couple of performances against the Lions and in the playoff game against the Rams, they hurt.
He lost himself a lot of money.
No, those hurt, but then he did over the court. But the biggest stage with that bye on the line, I mean. That's the number one seed on the line, right? The Sunday night game.
Yeah.
I mean, the number one seed.
Number one seed.
And they could. In Detroit's defense, and it doesn't make them look any better. That Daniels went up and down the field like they weren't even there on defense. So I mean, they had so many guys out on that Detroit defense, and they couldn't score. Did they score a touchdown in the game?
Maybe late after the issue had been decided.
Did they have a defensive touchdown almost, or the guy dropped one or something? I mean, I don't think they scored a touchdown. I mean, that's against that defense.
How many jobs are real? How many jobs are really open? Really open.
Quarterback jobs.
Jets,
Raiders, Giants.
Maybe the Browns, but they don't have any money because they still got to pay Deshaun Watson.
Schefter has said they're going to take a number 2 pick is going to be quarterback.
Okay. Yeah, because you can get him on a rookie deal. Yeah. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you a good spot for Sam Darnold. If I were the Tennessee Titans and I wanted to take Travis Hunter with the first pick instead of Cam Ward, then you sign Sam Darnold, and that Sam Darnold and Travis Hunter make you a lot better.
Abdul Carter would be the number 1 pick, I think, if they don't go with the quarterback based on the odds.
And I love Abdul Carter. I'm trying to think of other jobs that are open quarterback jobs. That might be it.
Bryce Young's back. He's good there.
Yes.
I mean, start the season at least. Yeah.
He is. You actually got more available starting quarterbacks than you got jobs. Kirk Cousins can be had for a song. Aaron Rodgers, Sam Darnold. I mean, all of these guys are looking
for
jobs.
Who would you take, Cousins or Rodgers? That's close, huh?
I'd take Cousins.
You think he was hurt? Yeah, I think he was hurt last year.
Yeah, and I think Cousins, if that Achilles is not flaring up on him or whatever was hurting him last season, I think Kirk Cousins can play 2 or 3 more years. I think Rodgers at best has 1 more year, and I'm still not sure he's not going to retire. So you got
any Loomis talk, or can I get some picks in?
Mickey Loomis, man.
The Saints are dead to me. I mean, I just connect the dots. Charlie, is Loomis gone? I cannot invest 1 ounce of emotion into the Saints until Loomis is gone. Right. Nope, you'll be dead before he's gone. Okay, well then
I hope I'm wrong about that.
A plus B equals Saints are dead to me.
I hope I'm wrong about that because I don't want you to die.
I'm not trying. I worked out again this morning. Got on the bike.
I figured out what that little small epiphany was when I was saying. So you ever see The Perfect Storm? Of course you didn't. But
I watched Larry David last night.
You watched Larry
David?
Son
of a gun's funny, boy.
Max, you saw The Perfect. Okay. All right. Well, spoiler alert. There's a scene near the end of the movie where the boat's been beat up and the seas are crazy and all that stuff, and all of a sudden it goes calm, and for they're in the eye of the storm, and for a moment you think they're going to make it. They'll just ride the eye all the way into the coast. And then 2 minutes later, the Storms pick back up and they know they're going to die, right? That's what Kellen Moore's hiring was to me. It was that brief moment that I thought, got a chance. And then I remembered that Mickey Loomis is still there.
We get all kinds of explanations when we're wrong, huh?
Yeah.
My goodness, boy, you've flawed around here like you're the king of a
You
Mardi
said
Gras parade.
you said you were going to say I was right
I
today.
hate being right. I'm younger. I hate being right.
Yeah,
but now we get a bunch of stuff. I want to be optimistic. Yeah. I chose to be optimistic. Like in some self-help program or something.
I did. Yeah.
I mean,
you said you were going to be nice to me today and say I was right about everything. Come on, we got 10 minutes left on my vacation. Don't mess it up now.
Northwestern -4.5 tonight.
All right.
Okay. Playing better, best 2 wins, coming back home. Iowa's not good. Martinelli, Colucci's favorite. Florida -8.5 tomorrow against A&M. Sloppy performances back home against a sliding team right now, Texas A&M. Bama +3.5 at against Tennessee. I thought this would be a little bit lighter than that, but I'll take the points, any type of points in this one. I think it's a flip of the coin. Offense versus defense. Usually I go defense, but Bama's playing better since they had their little couple of games against Auburn and Missouri. And then Texas Tech getting at full strength. They're way better than Kansas. +3.5. Take any type of points. I think that line's going to go down as information comes out. And when I'm going to go to, I think the Queen is adding to my life, Charlie.
Yeah.
Because why? I have no stress level of going there and worried about the TVs. The Queen, I go to the Queen I get on the bike at the and then I go to the Queen. So my stress level is down. So I might outlive Mickey Loomis, huh?
Good.
Okay.
Good. I'm happy about that. Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs.
Hang on, I'm going to let Jimmy do the promo because I'm going to be out.
Okay.
And I'll send you a I'll send you a voice. I'll send you a voice message for the Thibodeau store spots that run on the Monday and Tuesday.
Okay.
Want to do promo?
Yep. It's rolling.
Join me, Jimmy Ott, live at lunch, here we go. Monday edition of Live at Lunch, live from the Queen Casino, the DraftKings Sportsbook. Charlie's almost dropped the F-bomb there.
Karen, hear that.
Live at lunch, live at the Queen Casino in the DraftKings Sportsbook Monday. Charlie screwing around with that Mardi Gras. So Max, Henry Hayes, and a lot of handicapping with college basketball. It's live at lunch, live at the Queen Casino in the DraftKings Sportsbook Monday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Okay.
Louisiana's big weather can mean big damage to your roof. Our team offers free inspections and guarantees your satisfaction. Call 756-8603 or visit riceandroofing.com.
Just to be on the safe side.
Golf Tech of Baton Rouge is transforming your golf game. Conveniently located in Town Center, Golf Tech offers indoor lessons, club fitting, club sales, dedicated coaches, and more. Your one-stop shop for a better golf game. It's a new year. You should have a new game. Go to golftech.com today to be the rock star of your golf group.
Attention, vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Segan near Perkins.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free. with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit. 800-611-5252. 800-611-5252. 800-611-5252.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Live at lunch with Otten Hanny from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 1045 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
LSU starting lineup for the game against Kansas State that starts in about an hour. Curiel, Jones, Dickinson, top 3, middle 3, Fry in DH spot today. Hernandez behind the plate, and Milam at short, Brown in right field, Braswell and Stanfield in the 9-hole today, and Kate Anderson on the
Joe,
mound.
you enjoy your Mardi Gras. We'll be in good hands here. Don't worry about us carrying the load, chugging away.
Max, I'm worried about Max. I'm not worried about you. Max, you going to be all right?
I'll be fine. I got some Mardi Gras parades this weekend.
Well,
Monday, Tuesday,
I love
we'll
how he placates to the Russian judge now. Whenever we have a Max, is he peacocking? A little.
I mean, you were, in fairness. You were kind of peacocking yesterday.
In a very passive-aggressive way.
Like only you would.
Right. Yeah, it's
very sarcastic way.
All done with love, right? all done with love.
How in the hell in the Rams were they going to let Matthew Stafford walk?
They're not.
I know what was that all about? I mean, where did that come? How did that become that big of a deal? Okay,
because they had to
restructure
redo the deal.
Okay,
because it didn't have a lot of guaranteed money left on it.
30?
He wanted that. And I think they really wanted to see if he still wanted to play. There was at a point where he was contemplating retirement because of the injuries, and that obviously has passed.
He played great this year, man. Yeah. He played really good.
Still a top 10 quarterback.
Oh, easily this past year. Yeah. Easily.
All right. Thanks to everybody for participating today. For Max, for Jimmy Jordan back in the studio, I'm Charles Henniger saying thanks and good afternoon. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer. Good luck, Hunt, this weekend. Might be a dad again this weekend. 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
When it comes to celebrating life.
All right, you guys have a good one.
Thank you, Jordan.
Thanks, you too.
Rouge in Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and